What's up, family? It's Wilson, also known as Designed by Will. Have you ever wanted to help people make these sort of designs? Well, I'll show you and expose some industry secrets along the way. So let's get straight into it. Go ahead and launch your Photoshop. The width is going to be 2700 and the length is going to be 3200 pixels, and make sure your DPI is set to 300 and you've enabled artboards. Go ahead and insert your image and start cutting it out using the pen tool. After masking that out, I want you to make a duplicate, turn that one off and convert the top one into a smart object. Now we can start making some adjustments. Go to the adjustments panel and add in a threshold. Go ahead and play with the settings till you're happy. Add in a bit of detail but not too much, because we're going to add in a noise. Go to filter, noise, add in noise, and that's going to allow some more detail into the image and have a sort of bad print effect. Ensure to add some character but not too much character, so stick between 4 and 11 in terms of how much noise you add to the image, and press OK. I want you to go ahead and add a new layer. Go up to select, press color range, drop down menu, select shadows, press OK, and then fill that layer in with black, because we're going to be filling in the cutouts that we made with the threshold. Go ahead and select the original layer we had the cutout on, make another layer on top of that, and then select white and fill that in. This is going to allow us to make our colors in our highlight sections, and you can just simply change the names of these to colors or whatever you want. For these very effective designs, you want to keep it within a 3-color limit. So make a new layer, change the name to color or whatever you want to change it to. Select the white layer that we made originally, because we want to enclose our coloring into that one little area. Select any color that you want, grab a brush and go to town. Once you're happy with your colors, group everything together, add in a mask onto that group. Go ahead and select a brush and make sure it's set to dissolve in the blending options. So once that's all set up, go ahead and select a brush and go to town and remove a certain section at the bottom where it's cut out, because I have a strong pet peeve with designs that have randomly cut off limbs. It just looks unprofessional. So blending it in this way just makes it look more complete. Here is where I will tell you guys to go ahead and press T to insert some text, but I did some custom typography on my iPad, so I was like, I might as well use it for this design. From here, I want you to right click your text, go into blending options, select color and change the color to the hair color. From here, I want you to add in a stroke, set that to around 7 to 10 and make the stroke color white. Once you've pressed OK, I want you to select your artboard and change the color to black, because we're going to be adding in those little polka dots that no one knows how to do in Photoshop, and I'm going to show you guys how to do them. I want you to go ahead and open your brush settings in a new window. Once you've selected the brush that you want, go ahead and go to Windows, brush settings, and from here I want you to change the spacing. Now this depends on how big your artboard is and how big the sizing of your brush is. So this is a trial and error. Once you've got the right sizing, that's all it takes, and you can start tracing your typography. Trust me, there's many ways of doing this. You could have done it using the pen tool, or you could do it in Illustrator, which will take you literally 5 seconds. But since you're doing it in Photoshop, I think this is the best way to get that hand-drawn effect, because you are hand drawing it in. And make sure your stabilization is set to around 60 to 100, just so you get a consistent, I guess, looking line throughout the whole design. This is just checkpoint 1, where you should be up to by now. Go ahead and select your artboard tool and make a new artboard. This is where we're going to be adding in our text effects and making effects that we don't want on our final artboard. So for this one, I'm going to add in my text. I'm going to set the color to white, and for the text itself, I'm going to put in 1-800 come home, just to play on this whole 1950s pinup model aesthetic. The font I'm going to be using is High School USA Sans Serif. There is better ones out there. I've just been using this one for so long that I just make adjustments around it. So I'm just going to go into blending options and add in a stroke, just so it's a little bit more thick in terms of weight. Next, I'm going to make sure I add in a bit of an inner glow and then convert that all into a smart object. Select the artboard, change the color to white, and then go back into the blending options again. Once you've converted it to a smart object, set it to black and add in a threshold. From here, we're going to do the same exact thing and select the color range, which is going to be the black. Now you can see the threshold added a bit of texture that replicates the sort of grunge or grain that we added to the actual image. Now, my main pet peeve using Photoshop is text, but there is ways of working around that. So go ahead and use a rectangle selection tool and basically right click and cut out the different sections of the text. And we're going to be doing this because we're going to be placing it around the graphic on the main artboard. Once you're happy, group all your cutouts together and drag them into the new artboard, or copy and paste them into the new artboard. Simply right click your group folder and change the color to white, and you can see the design starting to come together. Now from here you can play with your placements of the text whichever way you want based on what your graphic looks like, but I'm going to keep it simple. After cleaning up the layers, you simply want to drag and drop in your branding or logo, add in something circular that represents your logo, because I don't know why people love to put circles in these designs. I guess it just works. So the lady's basically just pointing to the revision logo, and it's like 1-800 come home. So come home back to the brand. Cool motif. It just happened to work that way. I didn't plan it like that. Now all in the design should be looking quite complete at the moment, but we're going to add in some little details to just elevate the actual design. I'm going to add in the star and drag it into Photoshop, turn it into a custom brush. So basically you just want to define the actual selection as a brush, or just define brush, press OK, or rename it whichever name you want it to be. From here, I want you to go into your brush settings, but I like opening the window so I can make any effects, change the spacing a bit, and we're also going to change the shape dynamics and also the scatter. So if you just head into this section here, you can change the size jitter, which is going to allow us to have different size brushes, but without having to manually adjust them. And then from here, we can change the spacing. And basically you have this really cool shape or star brush, and it works really well in a lot of designs. And you can also apply this to like your logo or just something simple, like another star or another triangle. It's just a really nice, cool effect that I don't think a lot of people know how to do. And if you want to make the design super busy, just add in a new typography. It can either be custom or I guess just regular type, but add in a slogan or something related to your brand or something related to the motif or theme that you're going for, and that's going to tie it in together with this design. And lastly, I just changed the actual logo of Revision and added in a white stroke just to finish everything up. Now you understand the basic techniques of getting a threshold and getting those layers to blend well using blacks to, I guess, mask out the different layer sections. We're going to be doing that same exact process, but just for the back design. We're going to be adding the Revision logo to the lips and then thresholding it out and then adding in the sort of logos and stars just to make sure everything flows nicely. Start off with a nice clean cutout and drag in your logo either from Photoshop or from a different document, wherever your logo is. Place it on the lips and head into blending options. Go ahead and pause and copy these settings for the text. I basically want you to grab everything, convert that into a smart objects. Once you have it grouped and have a duplicate, from there I want you to go ahead and add in some noise, and that's going to be it for now. And just add in the text from the Lovers Club. From here, make a new layer and add in some stars so we have that reoccurring design element going from front to back. That's design 1 and 2 complete for the front and back. All that's left is to group it and remove the black for each design. Once that's done, I'm going to show you guys quickly how to add a sort of ripped texture that just elevates your design just a bit more. And it's something that most people leave out, but if you wanted to have that true vintage aesthetic, add in a new layer of like some ripped paper or either concrete, something grunge. Add a threshold on top of that and make sure the threshold is on the lightest option so you don't have a completely ripped image. Go to select black and go to the image where your design is in the folder and fill that with black, and that's going to cut out the actual grunge aesthetic onto the image, and you basically have this really nice texture onto your design, and it just elevates the design a bit more. Apply that same exact cutout mask onto the back design, and yeah, that's your whole design complete. Add it to a little bit of a mock-up, and that's it. And that's the whole design complete. Make sure to check the links in the description because the Studio Wheel Patreon has all these designs in there, not for print, but just for you guys to check out and either copy the styles I already have on there so you don't have to go ahead and make these styles yourself, or even just grab some of the images. You can go ahead and do that. It's perfectly fine. Just don't print the actual t-shirts because I'll know it's my design with my logo. Anyway, I love you guys. Take care. Peace.